Be me. Rachel. 29 years old. Career counselor at a university. Spent 4 years building my reputation. Helped hundreds of young men find their path. Specialized in what I called progressive career development. Basically got guys to see past traditional masculine careers, pushed them toward sensitivity training, emotional labor fields, anything that broke the mold. Really believed I was doing good work. Tuesday morning, 3 emails waiting. All from former clients. All canceling their follow-up sessions. Derek said he found a new direction on his own. Marcus said he was pursuing different guidance. Troy just said he was taking a break. Sat there annoyed. Classic resistance. They get close to real growth. Then they run. Had an appointment with Chris at 3 o'clock. Been seeing him for 5 months. Came in after dropping out of social work program. Today he looked different. Clearer eyes, better posture, seemed grounded. How have things been? Pretty great, actually. He smiled. Just different. Want to talk about it? He shrugged. Switched my major. Going into engineering now. Working part-time at a machine shop. Feel good about it. I felt my chest tighten. Chris, we talked about this. You were making progress toward a career in care work. That takes real courage for men. Yeah, I know what we talked about. His voice was calm. But I like building things. Pay is better too. Makes more sense for me. This sounds like you are falling back into traditional patterns. Maybe. He stood up. But I am happy. Thanks for everything, Rachel. He left 12 minutes early. I sat there frustrated. 4 guys bailing in 1 week. Something felt off. Got home that night. My boyfriend Daniel was on the couch. Barely looked up when I walked in. Brought home pizza, his favorite place. Hey, I set it on the counter. Got the one you like? Cool. He did not move. You okay? You seem distant. Just tired. Long week. We can talk about it. That is what I am here for. I know. He grabbed a slice. Going to eat in the other room. Got some work to finish. Watched him walk away. Felt something sink. He had been pulling back for weeks. Short answers. Never wanted to hang out. Always some excuse. Told myself it was work stress. He managed a construction crew. Always dealing with problems. But part of me wondered. Pushed it down. I knew relationships. This was just a phase. My cousin Stephen came to visit on Saturday. Had not seen him in almost 2 years. Not since his breakup with Nicole. He was destroyed back then, barely holding it together. I tried to get him into counseling. He said he just needed time. When he showed up at my apartment, I almost did not recognize him. He looked healthy, confident, dressed well, smiled like he meant it. Rachel. He hugged me. You look good. You too. Seriously, you look amazing. Thanks. Been taking care of myself. Feels good. We went out for coffee, caught up on his life. He talked about his new hobbies, woodworking, climbing, started a podcast with some buddies. So, are you seeing anyone? I asked, trying to sound casual. Nope. He sipped his coffee. Not really interested. Seriously, you are not lonely. Not even a little. He looked genuine. I have friends. I have projects. I sleep great. No drama. Life is easy. But do you not want a partner? Someone to share things with? I share things with people. Just not romantically. He leaned back. Honestly, it is peaceful. I do what I want. No arguments. No compromising on everything. Just me and my life. Felt the counselor in me take over. Stephen, have you actually dealt with the breakup? Because avoiding intimacy is not healing. I am not avoiding anything. He laughed. I just realized I am happier this way. Genuinely. That sounds like a defense mechanism. Or, he said, it is just the truth. I wanted to push. Walk him through attachment theory. But he changed the subject, talked about his podcast, his climbing group, seemed unbothered. The whole way home I thought about it, how wrong he was, how he was wasting his potential, running from connection. Daniel barely said anything when I got back. Just nodded, scrolled his phone. Do you want to talk? About us? About anything? Not really. He stood up. I am going to bed. Early shift tomorrow. It is only 8 o'clock. I am tired, Rachel. He walked to the bedroom, closed the door. I sat on the couch, feeling cold. Wednesday I had a new client, Tyler, 22 years old. His girlfriend sent him, said he had commitment problems. He sat there nervous, kept checking his phone. So Tyler, what brings you in? My girlfriend Emma thought it would help. She says, I do not open up enough. And what do you think? I mean, maybe. He rubbed his face. I do not know. Feels like nothing I do is right. Perfect. Here was someone I could actually guide. Someone still moldable. Spent the next hour walking him through it. Toxic masculinity. Emotional suppression. How men are taught to avoid vulnerability. He listened. Took notes. Seemed receptive. This makes sense, he said. Never thought of it that way. Gave him assignments. Journal about his feelings. Plan something meaningful for Emma. Read about emotional intelligence. This is really helpful. Thank you, Rachel. He booked 3 more sessions. Felt validated. I still had it. The others were just resistant. But Tyler was willing to grow. That evening I tried again with Daniel. Sat next to him. Put my hand on his arm. Can we do a check-in? Feels like we have not connected in forever. Rachel, please. Not tonight. This is what I mean. You avoid real conversation. I am not avoiding. He pulled away. I am tired of being your client. I am not treating you like a client. I am trying to communicate. It does not feel like communication. It feels like an intervention, where I am always the problem. That is not fair. He sighed. You are right. I am sorry. Work has been stressful. There it was. The apology. The acknowledgement. I softened. It is okay. I get it. He squeezed my hand. Went to the bedroom. I sat there feeling like I had fixed something. Friday afternoon. Had a session with Brandon. Final one. Been seeing him for 3 months. Working through a rough breakup. When he came in, he looked settled. Calm. Wearing a plain hoodie. No tension in his face. So, last session, how are you feeling? Good. Really good, actually. That is why I am done. That is great. Are you ready to date again? No, he said. I am good being single. Like genuinely content. My smile faded. Walk me through your week. Sure. I lift 4 days a week. Play soccer on Thursdays. Hang with my crew on weekends. Been cooking more. Reading. Went fishing last Sunday. And you do not feel lonely. Honestly, no. I feel lighter. Like I can finally breathe. Brandon, that might be avoidance. Real intimacy requires. He held up a hand. Polite, but firm. Rachel, I have done this before. I know the speech. I am not avoiding anything. He pulled out his phone. Opened a notes app. Numbers everywhere. Can I show you something? I nodded. Uneasy. When I was with Lisa, I was spending about $2,000 a month on relationship stuff. Dates, trips, her car insurance, gifts for her family, all of it. Now I spend maybe $600 on myself. Saving the rest. He scrolled. I sleep 8 hours now, used to get 4 or 5, because she needed to talk until 2 o'clock in the morning. Every single night. I have read 4 books this month. Had not read for fun in 3 years. My boys say I am back to my old self. My buddy Sam said it is like I came back from the dead. I tried to find an angle. But those are just logistics. What about emotional fulfillment? Brandon looked at me. not unkind. Rachel, I am emotionally fulfilled. I have my friends, my family, my hobbies. I am not rotting away alone. Here is the thing, he continued. Being single now is not what it used to be. I am not isolated. I have group chats, online gaming with friends, the soccer league, my college buddies. We do trivia nights, camping trips, barbecues. I am more social now than I was with Lisa. Felt something cold settle in my stomach. And dating apps. He shook his head. Tried them. Went on 6 dates in 2 months. Every girl wanted me to be her therapist, her wallet, and her mind reader. For what? Boring conversation and someone who could not even ask about my day. Brandon, I am not saying this to be mean, he said, leaning forward slightly. I am saying I genuinely did the math. Relationship versus single. Single won by a mile. The numbers just make sense now. I scrambled. You are just hurt right now. You are generalizing. The right person would not. He stood up. Calm. Rachel, you are good at what you do for some people. But you cannot accept that I am happy. And that is on you, not me. He thanked me, wished me well, left. I sat in my office, silent, the clock ticking, Stephen's face at the coffee shop, Brandon's notes app, those numbers, the pattern. That night, Daniel came home late. I was already in bed, heard him in the kitchen. How was your day? I called out. Fine. His voice was flat. He came to the doorway, still in his work boots. I am sleeping on the couch tonight. Early morning tomorrow. Daniel, we should talk. I am tired, Rachel. Please. He closed the door. I stared at the ceiling, felt something crack inside. Monday morning. My phone rang. Unknown number. Almost ignored it. Something made me answer. Rachel Collins. Yes. This is Linda Patterson from the University Ethics Board. We received a complaint we need to discuss with you. My stomach dropped. A complaint. From a former student, Brian Mitchell. He was referred to you 8 months ago for career counseling. He is alleging that your guidance was biased and harmful. Felt my face go hot. What exactly is he saying? He claims you pressured him to pursue a career in social services, despite his stated interest in trades, that you framed traditional male careers as toxic. His exact words were that you had an agenda against masculinity and pushed him toward a path that was not right for him. That is not. My voice cracked. I follow best practices. I do not have an agenda. He is also claiming he ignored your advice, went into welding, and is now financially stable and happy, while his peers who followed your guidance are struggling with debt and dissatisfaction. He believes your counseling was negligent and ideologically motivated. I thought about Brian, quiet kid, good grades. I spent 4 sessions explaining how trades were limiting, how care work was the future. He stopped showing up after that. This will require a formal review. Linda continued. You will receive documentation within the week. I wanted to give you a heads up. She hung up. I sat at my desk, hands shaking. A formal complaint. Against my career. My phone buzzed. Email from a former client. Jessica. Hi, Rachel. I have been thinking about our sessions. I took your advice and broke up with Matt, like we discussed. But I think I made a mistake. He is doing amazing now. Got a promotion. Bought a house. Seems genuinely happy. And I am struggling. I do not think he was the problem. I think I was. Just wanted you to know. Stared at the screen. 2 people, both saying the same thing. Their exes were thriving, and they were drowning. Monday night. Daniel sat me down at the kitchen table, put down 2 glasses of water, like a meeting. I am moving out. We are done. I thought I heard wrong. What? I am leaving. This is not working. Daniel, let us talk about this. We can work through. I have been working through this for 6 months. I am done. He pulled out his phone, opened his banking app. The screen glowed between us. I have spent $6,800 on us in 4 months. You have covered maybe $700. And only when I asked, every time I brought it up. You said I was being transactional, or keeping score. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. You wanted me at your work events, your friends' dinners, those networking things. I went to all of them. You came to one of my crew barbecues and spent the whole time on your phone. That is not. I suggested we go camping. You said it was low effort. I planned that beach trip, spent hours finding the right place. You complained about the hotel the entire time. Said the pool was too cold. Daniel, I am not angry, Rachel. I am exhausted. There is a difference. He stood up. I want to wake up on Saturday and watch football without a lecture about toxic sports culture. I want to hang with my boys without a debrief on emotional availability. You tell your clients to communicate, to be vulnerable. But when I said I was overwhelmed, you told me I was being defensive. When I needed space, you said I was stonewalling. Felt Brandon's words, Stephen's calm, the complaint from Brian somewhere out there living his best life. All of it crashing into me at once. You used your education as a weapon, Daniel said quietly. Every disagreement became a session, where I was the patient, and you were always the expert. I talked to my buddy Jake. He left his girlfriend last year, said the peace was incredible. And you know what? I believe him. I have seen him happier in 8 months than in the 4 years he was with her. He grabbed his bag from the hallway. I had not even noticed he packed it. I am staying with Jake for a while. I will get the rest of my stuff next week. Daniel, please. He stopped at the door, looked back. His face was not angry, just tired. I hope you figure it out, Rachel. I really do. Then he was gone. I sat at the table for hours, not moving. The water glasses sat untouched, the chairs empty. The next few days blurred. I canceled appointments, called in sick, sat on my couch scrolling through my client files, seeing the pattern I had been ignoring for months. Male clients dropping off, similar language in their goodbye emails, found my path, in a good place, need to focus on myself. Female clients emailing regrets, exes thriving, a formal complaint. I thought about Brandon's Notes app, the $1,400 he was saving every month, the sleep, the books, the peace in his voice. I thought about Stephen, healthy and unbothered, no weight on his shoulders. I thought about Daniel's face when he said he was exhausted, the dark circles I dismissed as work stress, and I realized they are not broken. They are just opting out, and they are fine, better than fine. I stared at my reflection in the black TV screen, saw the woman I had become, the one who always knew better, who could not be wrong. Then the defensiveness kicked in. Automatic, protective. No, they are just scared, emotionally stunted. They will regret it when they are older and alone, wondering why they wasted their prime years. Daniel will come crawling back when he realizes dating is brutal. Brandon will be miserable in 6 months. Stephen will wake up one day and panic about not having kids. I caught my own expression, the bitterness, the fear underneath the rationalization. I was lying to myself. I knew it, but I could not stop. I opened my laptop, started typing a blog post, Why Men Struggle with Emotional Growth, a professional perspective. Got 2 sentences in, deleted it, opened my calendar, saw Tyler's name, my one success story, the guy who was actually willing to grow. I held on to that. Some men can still do the work. I am still good at this. Then my phone buzzed. Email from Tyler. Hey, Rachel. Thanks for everything, but I think I am good. My girlfriend and I actually broke up. I realized I was trying to fix something that was not broken. Me. Honestly, feel relieved. Already sleeping better. Take care. I stared at the screen until it went dark. Set the phone down. Sat in the silence of my empty apartment. Be me. 29 years old. Career counselor. Helped dozens of people. Built a whole career on understanding development. And for the first time, I did not have an answer. Worse, I had the answer. I just could not accept it. I pulled up my client list, scrolling through names. Dozens of women I had helped leave toxic men. Men I had coached to be more sensitive. Students I had guided toward progressive paths. How many of those men were sitting somewhere right now? Sleeping 8 hours. Saving money. Finally exhaling. How many had I convinced were broken, when they were just tired? My phone sat on the coffee table, dark and silent. Daniel was not going to call. Tyler was not coming back. Brandon was probably at the gym, or reading, or laughing with friends who did not psychoanalyze his every sentence. I could see it so clearly now. The pattern I had built my career dismissing. Men opting out. Not because they were damaged, but because the math finally made sense to them. Because being alone meant being enough, and being partnered meant being insufficient, no matter what they did. I thought about my own words in sessions, the ones I had repeated to dozens of women. You deserve someone who shows up. Had I shown up for Daniel? Or had I just expected him to show up for me? While I critiqued his performance, graded his effort like a teacher marking a test. The truth sat in my chest like a stone. I opened my browser, typed men, happier single statistics, then closed it. I did not need statistics. I had 3 months of exit emails sitting in my inbox. I had Brandon's Notes app burned into my memory. Those numbers, proof of peace. I had Stephen's face across the table, genuinely content, while I insisted he was broken. I had Daniel's exhausted eyes, I had Brian's complaint, and Jessica's regret email. My diplomas stared at me from the wall, framed, expensive, proof that I knew what I was talking about. Except I did not. Or worse, I did. And I had been wrong anyway. I grabbed my phone, opened it to type something, anything, some post that would make this make sense, that would reframe it all back into my worldview, where I was still right, but my hands were shaking. I set it back down. The apartment was so quiet. I could hear the fridge humming in the kitchen, the muffled sound of my neighbor's music through the wall. This is what they had now, this quiet, this peace. And I had spent years telling them it was not enough, that they were not enough, when really, I was the one who was not enough. Not for Daniel, not for my male clients who saw through the framework, not even for myself. I sat there as the sun set through the window, painting the wall orange, then purple, then dark. Somewhere across town, Daniel was having a beer with Jake, laughing, sleeping without being analyzed. Somewhere Brandon was reading his 5th book of the month. Somewhere Stephen was at his climbing gym, guitar lesson after, and somewhere Tyler was realizing the same thing, that the cost was too high, the return too low. And opting out was not failure. It was just math. I understood it now. I understood it completely. I just could not say it out loud. Not yet. Maybe not ever.